us tonight. What do you make of Robert Chagulanyi's decision to petition the international community at the recent Geneva summit on human rights?
Honorable Chagulanyi has made some serious observations at the Geneva Human Rights Summit, which require serious introspection. As we are aware that the Geneva Human Rights Summit is an important platform through which the human rights architecture is examined at a global level. He makes reference to a lot of challenges that we face during the recently concluded general elections, which of course have attracted global attention and over time require us as Ugandans, as well as the Ugandan government, to take serious note of, but at the same time seek practical solutions. Some of the issues that he raises were actually brought out during the Supreme Court hearing in the case of Mama Mbabazi versus Yoweri Museveni and the Electoral Commission. Issues such as internet shutdown, deployment of security during elections, the transmission of results, and overall the treatment of opposition supporters. These are matters that were of concern to many Ugandans recently, and he reiterates them in his speech. And of course, to many of us, they still remain pertinent and require action.
Well, Doctor, do you think that all avenues have been exploited, or all avenues closed? Or there is a window under which such politicians in the opposition, can come to a common ground as opposed to petitioning the international community over a sovereign state?
When it comes to the issue of human rights, there are no boundaries. Human rights issues are of concern at the national, at the regional, and the international level. They can be raised at any level, as long as it's a platform that can provide the necessary audience. However, in terms of action, it's important that solutions be found at the national level, because increasingly, the global system does not seem to offer solutions. Quite on a number of occasions, the focus is on individual interests. States have interests, and when it comes to human rights, they offer a road deal. It's important, therefore, that yes, in terms of dialogue at the international level, such issues are brought out, but it's important for us as citizens, as well as the Ugandan government, to take a serious interest in these matters and find practical solutions towards their resolution.
Well, Doctor, we've seen government officials here in Uganda really rubbish off sanctions from the international community, like the US and the UK. The question is, what will happen anyway if let's say, what the petition says, indeed, Robert Chagulanyi is granted what his prayers are, like sanctions, or is he just wasting time?
The international community increasingly has very little teeth. What they really need is to use their muscle during negotiations when concluding agreements, to ensure that partner states actually uphold human rights principles And maybe to a limited extent, there is a school of thought that feels that you could impose targeted sanctions against perpetrators of rights, but even those sometimes do not yield the desired result, because the leadership many times who often engage in these abuses are little affected by these sanctions, and it's the population that suffers. So it's important to think about more viable approaches that would create the necessary change that we desire when conditions are imposed.